So another one that I'm thinking of on this kind of same line is these, do-it-yourself froth pack kits. And even now we're seeing these, spray foam in a can with a gun I'm seeing it all over Facebook and Instagram. Look, you can just buy, 2 cases of this canned foam stuff and you can spray your own, and it's crap, frankly. I've done it myself, not with the cans, but with the froth pack. And my personal experience with it is it does not expand nearly as well. You don't get anywhere close to the yield that they say that you're going to get. And it's frankly not really cheap, right? So, I'm sure you got some thoughts on that topic there.
I've got lots of thoughts on it and a lot of perspective change over the course of my career. So even up till yesterday, I was teaching a continuing education credits for, 14 architects. And so you have to address all the delivery methods of polyurethane foam. So one of the big things, I'll go from the smallest to largest. Can foam. It's a single component polyurethane foam product that's classified as a sealant.
Okay. So it's not really made for a comparable closed cell, open cell product, right?
That's right. And so it cures, in its curing process, it needs air, to go through that curing process. Unlike, ours was a plural component, it's creating that chemical reaction. So single component can foams, for the sake of building science, would be fantastic if for like a homeowner DIY who wants to go and seal their rim joist, right? Now you can see, okay, that little spray tip they have, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We've done remodeling projects together where they have the old shiplap siding when you take apart the wall, and it's got all the gaps. If you really wanted to do that yourself, that would be a perfect use of that fan tip on a can foam pistol.
So, but because I've done that myself as well, would that type of fan tip actually be better than just a regular foam gun? I mean, does it fill the gap any better?
Questionable. It would be more so for the Energy Star building process, using traditional insulation. Well, how do you seal every one of these frames or the butt joints of the plywood, to just put a good
feeding to the wall studs and, drywall top plates and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you have to acknowledge, these products are out there and they have their place. One of the things that makes them very frustrating is the tiny print on the back of the instructions
that you can't read.
That's right. And in that tiny print, it's going to say mix, some of them I've seen even mix continuously for 10 minutes. Who can sit there and shake can foam for 10 minutes vigorously and then continue to do that? Now, so that's can foam. When we're talking about froth packs, we're talking about the low pressure, typically like propane size canisters, right? So you have 2 of those. A real key to them, again, on those instructions, is to get them up to temperature. You're supposed to get those to 80, 85 degrees.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
How often does that happen? I mean, you'd have to have an electric blanket or something wrapped around these things for an hour or 2 or more, right?
Correct. So for energy, improvement professionals, handymen, things like that, that is one of the considerations. They do sell specifically small electric blankets to go around those little propane tanks. And it
for
tends
your temporary use for that 1-2 times that you're going to use it, right?
Correct. But if you go, I know a couple builders just in Louisville that they will do their more affordable houses. They're not just cookie cutter slapped together, things like that. They're paying a little more attention. They'll go and do, behind the showers, behind the kitchen sink.
With the froth packs.
With the froth packs. That's right. Okay. And so that's a perfect example of where they are applicable, and where you
can see that.
Right? We're talking what? 100 square feet, 150 square feet.
And these
You
are
know,
200 board foot to 600 board foot kits typically, right?
yeah, they do come bigger than that, but that would be for something like hot tub manufacturers or, these insulated bins and things like that.
Yeah.
So they do come in bigger kits, but really, as far as the general public's concerned, they're being sold through Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards as,
Amazon.
yeah, as DIY kits.
Yeah.
They still have an expiration date and they have to get up to that temperature.
Yeah.
So if you're
And
able to do it, sure, but then you're still mixing two chemicals. So that's
yeah,
another thing that people don't consider. And
you're
if you
able to do
don't,
it right.
right, that's right. You got to be able to do it right. And so that's those two systems I would say there. Do they have their place? Yep, they sure do. Are they more complex than hiring a professional? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, depending on the project that you're looking at, if you're trying to seal all your rim joists and maybe even insulate your foundation walls, I mean, that's a lot of square footage to cover in most average size houses. And so by the time you buy 2 or 3 of those kits, you probably could just pay a spray foam contractor to come out and do it professionally and get better results, is my experience of what I've seen.
That's exactly right. I mean, you got to understand what the products, their primary design is for, and then fit the product to the project, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things, like as a contractor, I would always say to homeowners is like, what is your time worth?
Yeah.
In the, 40 hours that this is going to take you to DIY it, I could come in there and be finished in 4 hours.
Right.
So what are your 40 hours worth with your family, your hobbies, or even, distill it all the way down to the nitty gritty? Like, what do you personally and professionally make per hour in your job?
Right. And the side effects, the potential negative side effects of doing it incorrectly and breathing in stuff that you don't want, or you do it and it doesn't expand, it doesn't perform, and now you're stuck. You've already spent however many hundreds or thousands of dollars on this product, and it still didn't solve the problem that you had in the first place.
That's exactly right. And I think everybody who's used the low expansion sealant can foam from a box store will say, yeah, I went so far and then I took a break and now the straw is all,
Gunked
clogged
up.
up and
Yeah.
it's totally gone. So, you almost have to factor a 10 to 20% loss of efficiency on that, not only the learning curve, but just how the product gets delivered.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because they want to take lunch and they don't realize that they got to cap it off and turn off the nozzles and everything. They come back from lunch and then nothing's coming out. They're like, oh my God, I just spent $600 on these stupid tanks. So
Well,
this is a good one.
professional contractors, even, we deal with it all the time with that sealant can foam, because it is a perfect product for sealing doors and windows, newly installed or retrofit install, or just doing around some can lights that are already airtight. It's a great product for that.
Yes.
But again, even as a contractor, you let that can sit on that application pistol too long and it's totally junk.
Now you're on the cheap end, $20 or $30 gun is gone and you got to get another one.
Well, that's at the industry professional level, right? Like
Yeah.
you and I could have been able to do that. You go to Home Depot, those application ones that are Lowe's or Menards, they're $50.
Yeah.
Like that's not cheap.
Right. Especially if you thought you were saving money by doing it.
Yeah. So we see that a lot where it's not saving really any money in a larger project, but it's costing a lot more time.
Yeah.
And so
probably headaches and, inferior quality at the end of the day.
yeah.